great to be with you. My name is Julia Teschon, and we're continuing our devotionals. This week we've been focusing on the things that Christ frees us from. And today we're looking at the truth that Christ's death and resurrection frees us from shame. The shame is something that we are all very familiar with. We've all experienced that deep sense of disgrace and humiliation after being guilty of some sin or wrongdoing. It is definitely part of the human experience. Yet shame, if we leave it unchecked, can cause us to be fearful, hide from others and God, cover up what we deem as shameful, and blame others for our guilt. Well, that was certainly the response of the first man and woman, Adam and Eve, who were once naked and unashamed, but after they sinned, they became fearful. They tried to cover themselves. They hid from their Creator, and they ended up blaming others. Their shame caused a rift between them and God, as well as each other. Yet God's response was so loving and so caring. He didn't abandon them, but he rather brought everything into the light and showed them grace, protection, and gave them a promise. You know, like Adam and Eve, we can be tempted to hide our shame. We may have difficulty getting over who we were before we came to Christ, our past. Or maybe we're struggling with something right now that we are ashamed of, and we want to hide and cover it up. But God has made a better way. He first has told us who we are in Christ and what Christ has done for us. And that in turn allows us to come into the light and deal with whatever is causing us shame. See, our shame can be overcome by the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross. Jesus Christ came and took not only our sin and our subsequent guilt and our punishment, but he also took our shame for all of that as well. When we accept his finished work on the cross, we not only are redeemed, we're given a new identity. We are declared sons and daughters of God. Hebrews 12:2 says, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. I love how that verse begins, looking to Jesus. Shame has at its core a self-focus, a preoccupation with our own unworthiness. But this verse reminds us that we must fix our eyes on Jesus. I like the idea that in that word looking or fixing our eyes on, it's also the idea of hoping. We are looking to Jesus for salvation. We are looking to him to provide us with the justification and the elimination of our sin and our subsequent shame. For the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame. Now that's a strong word, despising the shame. Other editions say disregarding, but it has with this idea, and I think it's a hyperbole of the idea that the shame was nothing compared to the joy that was set before him. And what was that joy? That joy was you and me and all of creation. The joy of seeing the restoration of what he had made. The joy of seeing death, sin, and shame be destroyed. So that was the joy that motivated him to despise the shame. We know that there was an incredible amount of shame heaped upon Christ, not only physically, but verbally. He was spat upon, he was mocked, and so all of this went into his death. That suffering was not without purpose or reward. He could despise the shame because, like I said, it was nothing compared to the glory that awaited him. And when I think about all that he suffered for me and for you, and for us to be declared righteous and shameless, it makes me just let go of any type of shame that I might be holding on to. It's a gift. It's grace. In Psalm 34:5, the psalmist says, "Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame." I hope this encourages you and blesses you, and I hope you have a great day.